Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in today's head-to-head comparison, we're going to take a look at the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 ZR2 and its smaller brother, the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2. I've borrowed the Colorado from Hendrick BMW Charlotte, so take a look at their website. They're always getting in some very cool inventory. That link is down in the description. So we have a lot to cover for both of these off-road focused pickup trucks from Chevy. So let's start off with the Silverado, where these have a starting MSRP right around $67,000. For the Colorado, they start in the mid $40,000 range, and it just depends, of course, on the options that you go with that will drive up that MSRP. So let's move on to what powers both of these. For the Silverado, you have two different engine options. This particular model has the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic, pumps out 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. For the Colorado, this has a 2.7 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo with 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. It's also paired to an 8-speed automatic. And then as far as curb weights go, we're looking at 4,800 pounds versus 5,700. We have a 0 to 60 time of 6.1 seconds, 5.7. And then as far as fuel economy goes, we have a larger fuel tank, of course, for the Silverado, but you're looking at 20 and 22 and 17 and 19 for the Colorado. Now, the biggest factor with the ZR2 is the fact that this is the off-road version. So for the Colorado, this has a 3-inch lift kit. It has a set of 33-inch tires. There's also skid plates underneath. Ground clearance is right around 10.8 inches. For the Silverado, it's interesting to see that we have 33-inch tires. I would feel like a full-size truck like this should at least have 35s from the factory. But these are 33s, 2-inch lift kit for this. Obviously, you don't need as much of a lift compared to the Colorado, but ground clearance is still a little bit taller at 11.1, which is interesting to see. It looks like the Colorado would have more ground clearance. But let's work our way to the exterior styling now, where honestly, both look very, very identical. We do have a slight difference in the headlight design. As you'll notice that the turn signals are right here. Over on the Silverado, they're a little bit thinner there, still within the grille, but we have the hollow bow tie badge there. ZR2 on the same side. Grille's a little bit larger for the Silverado. And then there's even a resemblance with the fog lights in the lower section, skid plates, red tow hooks. But you'll notice a lot of gloss black on the Silverado versus the plastic in the lower section of the bumper. But there's also the bumper cutouts for both of these, as you can tell, just to see a little bit more of that front tire and to give it a better approach angle. Now for the Colorado, there's also this matte black finish for the hood accent there, and then we have gloss black with the badging on the side. So again, nearly identical with their front end designs. We do have a little bit different shape in the middle of the bumper on both sides there. But as we work our way to the side again, we have the same exact wheel, same tire it looks like as well. And then a little bit different design for the fender arches. For the Silverado, we have a light as well as a camera and then gloss black. For the Colorado, it's just the gloss black there. And if we take a look, there's no sunroof for the Colorado. Silverado does have a sunroof up top. But as far as the rest of their side profile goes, obviously you can tell Silverado is much larger. They do share some similar lines. What I really like though with the Colorado ZR2 is the fact that we have functional rock sliders running down the side. This is more of a truck that you will be taking off-road versus the Silverado, where this has steel, but this is more of a step versus the rock slider. You could use that as a rock slider if you really needed to, but they're a little bit more functional for the Colorado. Now, both of these have the Multimatic tuned suspension. You can see it a little bit better on the Colorado. It's a little more hidden on the Silverado there. But we have the short beds for both of these. It's going to be longer for the Silverado, of course. And then as we take a look in back, gloss black for that bumper, as well as having all the parking sensors. There's also a bed step on the side, so you can use that with the grab handle up top in order to enter. This is also capable of towing right around 9,000 pounds. Now let's take a look at the bed real quick, because this truck has the Multimatic bed. So you have a few different angles or functions that you can use for this, including this pop-up here. And then you can also open up the entire lift gate or tailgate. And then you do have a step when you pop this down. So very functional. It's a really nice tailgate system. You have a handle here to use as well. And then there's the spray and bed liner. You have a power outlet, all the tie down hooks as well. So very functional with that and plenty of space. Now over on the Colorado, I used to own a Toyota Tacoma, so a midsize truck like this. It is still pretty practical. We don't have the same tailgate though, which would be cool to see. And then you'll also notice too, for this tailgate, you do have some hidden storage underneath. So not a whole lot, but you could put some toe straps or something like that. So while it doesn't have the integrated step, you still have some functions to it. There's no cutouts in the bumper either, but nearly looks identical, just a little bit smaller. Still retaining the grab handles on the top there. We have gloss black. Towing for this is going to be closer to 6,000 pounds. So obviously less than the Silverado there. Well, let's work our way to the interior, specifically the back seat, because this is going to be the biggest difference in why you're buying a full size over a mid-size. It just depends really on what you need. But all the interiors are going to be a little different depending on how you spec them. And then at 5'10", I have plenty of space. Obviously, it's big enough for a full-size adult. You get heated seats, cup holders, air vents as well. And then there's the armrest here with the cup holders there. You have the power sliding rear glass, and then I have a lot of headroom. The headliner actually goes up, so I've got maybe 5 or 6 inches of headroom, which is nice. So you can be taller than me and still be comfortable. And then it's also functional because we have the cutouts here for a little bit of storage, and then you can lift up this entire seat. There's also storage in the back of the seat there. So if you have some larger items, you can easily put them in there. Now over on the Colorado, if you don't need a full-size truck, this is still going to be adequate. So we have nearly an identical interior for this model. You don't get the cutout in the seat, but you still can raise up these seats where you have hidden storage space, so if you need to use that. But hopefully you can tell how much shorter this is. There's no grab handle up top there. But here we go. At 5'10", I still have a decent amount of space. It's not quite as much, but I have 2 or 3 inches above my head. And then we have climates, auxiliaries, cup holders there. We have the manual sliding rear glass, no cup holders in the middle. So it's still doable. Again, it really just depends on what you need. Car seat, you might want the Silverado for a little bit more storage. If you want to do some more off-roading though, the smaller wheelbase, the smaller truck here is going to be more nimble for those situations. And then up front, as we hop in, we do have full reviews on both the Colorado and that specific Silverado. So if you want to see all this in greater details, take a look at those videos. There's also volume and tuning on the back side here. And then we can quickly go through this information where you have a few different settings here that you can look at. So they're not configurable, but you can go through all these depending on the background that you'd like to see. And then we have your trailer braking system down below. No head-up display for this. And then for the infotainment system, you have a lot that you can go through, getting all of your lighting, your navigation and music. And then you have some other icons here, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's even some cameras that you can look at. So you have your rear view there. There's also a trailer one when you have a trailer, of course. And then we have some off-road tabs that you can look at as well. And then you can even get back into your air down mode. So you can use the vehicle to tell you when you have reached your desired PSI. There's all the climate adjustments. We have lockers, of course, for this. Your window controls, you can put them all down at the same time. And then we do have a few different driving modes. Now we have been able to take a Colorado off-road, so make sure to take a look at that video to see how well this does off the pavement. You get a little bit of storage in the center armrest there, as well as in the glove box. And that's pretty much it. It's a nice layout, and you'll notice that it's been shrunken slightly because I believe the Silverado had this interior first, where you'll notice that this looks nearly identical with the screen and everything. So for this Silverado, we do have paddle shifters up top, still retains those controls in the back there, but we have a little bit different of a gauge cluster setup. So you can actually scroll through a lot more information within this. And again, you can take a look at the full review to go through all this information. But we even have different display layouts that you can adjust and look at, as well as the rest of the information. So slightly more configurable. You have all of your headlight adjustments, 4-wheel drive selectors on this left side, a few different driving modes, not quite as much as on the Colorado there, but you do get a head-up display so you can look at all that information, and then a larger infotainment system. It is going to share some of the same features. However, you also get the split view now because it is a slightly larger. You have the trailer setup that you can go into, so when you have that hooked up, you have multiple different camera angles that you can look at, and everything else is nearly identical as far as that goes. Now what's different is we have these toggles in the middle where you still get lockers for front and rear. You can deploy the tailgate. We have the engine start stop, parking sensors, downhill assist control. Trailer braking is on this side here. And then all the climate adjustments are laid out very similar. You do get heated and cooled seats for the Silverado though. So you do get more features, and obviously for the price, that's what you would expect. We have a lot more storage in the middle here. There's storage on the sides. You have a lot more in the center armrest. You even get 2 glove boxes. So one up top, one down below. This has the digital rear view mirror. We have some more controls up top, sunroof of course. And then I didn't show visibility in the Colorado, but it's nearly identical as you would expect. All pickup trucks are really going to have the same amount of visibility, but the digital rear view camera is definitely very helpful. So there's a look at the exterior and interiors for both of these ZR2s. Let's get them out on the road now and see how they drive. And so we'll start off behind the wheel of the Colorado ZR2 because this is the smaller of the two. And I have had a lot of seat time behind the wheel of the Colorado, and as far as the new engine goes with the 4-cylinder, I also have a lot of experience with that too. And even going off-road, it seems to be a very healthy engine as far as the power goes too. So yes, it's not a V6, it's not a V8 like the Silverado, but it does get better fuel economy. It weighs a lot less, obviously, but I think it has plenty of power. It definitely has plenty of get up to it. And so this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Colorado. I like how everything looks. It's been minimized, you'll see once we hop back into the Silverado again. But it has a really nice layout. We have a lot of great functions in order to take this off the pavement. And what I love about this Multimatic suspension, both in this and the Silverado, is that it's super comfortable. We also have the all-terrain tires, which for a factory tire is pretty quiet. And obviously that's what a dealership is going to do. So these are going to be very quiet and smooth while you're out on the road. But the Multimatic suspension is a really good positive because while you may not be taking this off-road a lot or maybe often, just depending on what you're doing with the truck, it's got the best of both worlds for being very quiet and comfortable on the road. And it also gives you performance off-road too as far as articulation goes. Let's give it a little bit of gas here. And we're up to speed. So really the only downside is that you have the 4-cylinder and it's going to sound like a 4-cylinder. So not much of an exhaust or anything like that. But it's a nice place to be. I will say that when you look out both of the side view mirrors here, the bed rail is actually taller than I am, which is something that I'm not used to. My Tacoma wasn't like that at all. So you sit kind of low in this. You can easily see over the hood as well. Even with that bulge there, you sit pretty low in this, but as far as it hindering visibility, it doesn't really. It's just an interesting spec to point out as far as how high the bed rails are there. And then as we approach a train track here, just to go over what the suspension is like, you feel it a little bit, but it's not bad for a truck. So I like how it rides very comfortably for a pickup. It's more refined feeling with that suspension, which is nice. And then obviously you do have a small interior here, but it's not crammed feeling or anything. So it's nice. It's a nice layout for the sizing of the truck. Well, let's hop into the Silverado now and see the differences. And then hopping into the Silverado 1500 now, hopefully you can tell just how much larger this is just from this seating angle here. We have a much larger center area here to push that passenger seat farther away, and it just gives you a lot more space up front. But we also have a lot more power with the different engine options. Both are going to have significantly more And then obviously with the towing, that is going to be greatly improved as well for this full-size truck. You sit much higher up, it's a taller vehicle. It just has the differences that you would expect to see between the smaller brother with the Colorado and the larger Silverado. I honestly think both though are really nice options. It just depends on what you're using the truck for, your primary reasoning and what you're doing day to day. For me personally, I like the smaller size platform with the midsize because I do like to go off-road occasionally, and I just don't need a vehicle that is this big. I'm sure at some point I would go with a full size, but for now I like how easy it is to maneuver the smaller truck, parking lot speeds, things like that. It's not quite as intimidating if I need to let some other people drive it for whatever reason. This is a big truck that not many people you would want driving if they're not familiar with this, just because of its size. A mid-size truck is more on size, with maybe a 3-row SUV or something along the lines of that. This is a whole different type of vehicle. And it definitely sounds good too for that V8. You can also get the diesel as well, but they drive very similarly. They have the similar tech, obviously being both Chevrolets, but you do get a lot more with the Silverado here. But let's get back to our final thoughts between both of these ZR2s. And so back from the test drive now, honestly, there's really not a big difference aside from the power. Silverado is going to have a lot more power, of course. So it really just depends on the size of truck that you need. Like I said, I owned a Toyota Tacoma. I'm going to buy another one because I like the more nimbleness of the smaller size truck to go off-road, all the modifications that you can do, a little bit more of a following in that aspect. But if you need a full size, you're towing a lot more, maybe doing some overlanding, some kind of adventures like that, this is a beast off-road. Take a look at that video again because we were very impressed. With the longer wheelbase, it was still able to do some of the moguls that we can do in these smaller trucks. Not quite a hardcore off-roader though. And we have a lot more features. So if you're doing a lot more driving, you want some of those creature comforts, you go with a full size, you still get a good mid-size truck that you can do a little bit more with in smaller situations. So that's going to wrap it up for both of these ZR2 models. Comment down below, are you a mid-size or are you a full-size truck type of person? Let me know. I would go with the Colorado just for the off-roading and the smaller size, ease of maneuverability. But I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button. Check out Hendrick BMW Charlotte, link down below. I will see you all in the next video.